looking at getting it fixed. Today, what we're going to talk about is the coordinate plane. Most of you have probably graphed points in the past, so this shouldn't be totally new. How many of you guys, by raise your hand, have actually plotted points in a coordinate plane before? Raise your hand. Okay, good news. Secondly, how many of you have actually plotted negative points before? Stop saying, oh nice, so you guys are about 3/4. That's actually more than we had in A2. So hopefully this will be a really easy lesson for you then. This shouldn't be too bad. One thing that I want to point out, one thing that gets really confusing to a lot of students is when we start throwing the math term of coordinate plane in there. Because most of you just think of this as a graph, right? The reason they're kind of interchangeable is most of the time, to plot points in a coordinate plane, we use graph paper. And the act of graphing is done on a graph paper, but what we are graphing is on the coordinate plane. So what exactly is a coordinate plane? You form a coordinate plane. Whoa. My finger set up for the wrong thing. You graph the coordinate plane based on two number lines. These are two intersecting number lines. One is horizontal, one is vertical. One of the first things I will always do, even if it's already on a graph paper, is point out my X and Y and go ahead and make sure that I write over them with my pencil so that I know which one is which. This way there's never any doubt as to what's going to happen. Courtney, why are you not writing? I think I might send an email to your parents and say, hey, you want to make sure you listen to the video tonight? Because Courtney was not quite engaged as he should have been. Our two intersecting number lines intersect at a very special point. Anybody know what this point right here is called? Tom? Awesome! Well done. This is what we call origin. Everything in graphing revolves around origin. That 0, 0 point is absolutely critical. The ordered pair that goes with origin, 0, 0. So that is where origin is at. Yes? I'm sorry? Can you call this free space? Call it free space? No. No, definitely not free space. The X and Y axis intersect at the 0 points, and it separates us into 4 different quadrants. You know, shoot, I just gave it away. Called quadrants. That's the 4 sections of our graph. We call them quadrants. Now, I will be honest, the first quadrant makes a lot of sense to me. Quadrant 1 is right up there in the upper right. Because why do you think I use an I? Does anybody know what we call those? Roman numerals. Okay? Roman numerals. So you actually just answered the next one. We use Roman numerals to label our quadrants. The x-axis is, which one do you think, the vertical or horizontal?
The Y.
The x-axis is which one? Horizontal number line. For those of you that struggle on that, if you've ever watched some of our beautiful sunsets there in Okinawa, and you've been looking out over the ocean, and you see that sun just dip down, you're looking at the horizon, or a horizontal line.
Yep.
Meaning, what would the other one be?
Vertical.
Vertical. So the y-axis is our vertical number line. Another little help for you guys, if you're ever struggling on this. If I look at the letter X, can I tell anything about up, down, left, right with X? How?
X is short, and the Y is tall, so you go up and down to Y, and
Okay, but the X itself gives you no indication. You are correct, though. The Y points up and down. So if I know that that's the Y, the other one has to be X, right?
Yeah.
So if you put it to Y its term, The X is the short one. He goes left and right. Y is tall. He goes up and down. That works as well. Just find something to help you remember which one is which. Because it is really, really critical, guys, that you understand which way you're going. So we already gave this one away as well, where the X and Y come together. We call that origin. You're going to hear that word a lot today. Because literally everything we do in graphing comes back to the origin. Okay? Hey guys, please be quiet. We're about to talk about that right now. So, when I write points on a plane to tell you where they're at, what do we call that set of numbers? Ordered pairs. Good. So ordered pairs are what we use to locate a point position within the coordinate plane. Ordered pairs, sorry. I was talking and said points, my mind just started writing points instead of the pairs it was supposed to. Here's a really big part, guys. Whenever I do ordered pairs, the X ordinate is always listed first, the Y ordinate is always listed second. That's extremely important because it means I could give an ordered pair to literally any mathematician in the world, regardless of what language he speaks, he will put it in the exact same place I will. For real.
And it's in alphabetical order.
It is alphabetical order. X comes first, Y comes second.
That was the biggest part of the
Now, interestingly, to help us remember how our quadrants are labeled, we can remember our big helper, Miss Caruana, the big C. Because I'll be honest, when I talk about the quadrants, this is really the part that always used to mess me up the most as a student. So if this is 1, how many of you think 2 would go right here? Nobody? How many think 2 would go right here?
I can't see where you pointed at, but I'm just going to.
I'm going to go upper left. How many think 2 would be straight across from 1? Okay, only 2 of you voted in all those options. So let's go through them again. How many of you think quadrant 2 would be here in the bottom right? I'll put my hand up. That's where I would put it. No, that is where I'd put it. It doesn't make sense to go clockwise. How much stuff in our life do we do clockwise, guys? Almost everything, really, especially when it comes to order. Okay, how many think 2 should go here? Raise your hand. Okay, Dom. Why do you think 2 would go there? Can you give me a logical explanation? Okay, so you know it goes there, and you are correct. That is where it goes. 2 is here. Guys, I'll be honest, that doesn't make sense to me. I literally, if I were designing the coordinate plane, I would have put 2 down here. I heard someone else ask, why do we make these all Roman numerals?
I feel like the one
Anybody have a guess?
we made him Roman.
Wyatt? I'll give you my thinking. I think they did it just to really screw with students. How many times do we use Roman numerals? Almost never. But now, let's really mess students up. Let's throw them a coordinate plane. We'll do it counterclockwise instead of clockwise, and we'll use Roman numerals. This makes great test questions forever and a day, because everything about it is illogical. But this is where Miss Caruana helps us. Because if we think about Miss C, and we say, hey, remember the big C and how it helps us? Here's how it helps us. We start at 1, and we follow the big C. It goes in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the letter C. Miss Caruana comes through to help us once again. Hey guys, she's literally right beside me. I can barely hear her asking a question. You got to stop beside me. Yeah, the pencil. That's you, Waffle. Stop. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Okay, so now that we've got our quadrants listed and we know where they're all located, let's talk about them. First off, just as a note again, we're going to use Roman numerals for our quadrants. Yes, because I've actually discovered that huge glitch issue we have doesn't happen if I use my finger. So we have our 4 quadrants. So here's the question Irene was just asking me. She said, if I look at the quadrants, can I tell by the sign of the X or Y which quadrant it's in? Yeah, you can. Because for quadrant 1, what's going to be the value of my X? They're all, I'll give you a hint, they're all to the right of 0. Positive. What's going to be the coordinate for my Y? I'll give you a hint, they're all going up. They're all going up. Positive. So as an example, if I were to do the point 3, 4, in order to graph that, let me take a quick side step. You guys have been with us for the semester now. I hope by now you realize Miss Caroline and I are actually really good at math, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So if there is something that we do that it may seem really simple and basic, you think maybe that might be something you might want to mirror and do yourselves? Because I'm about to show you something really basic, and you're going to be like, really? Yeah, really. In order to not mess up graphing points, the very first thing both Miss Caruana and I do is we take our pencil and we put our pencil at origin every time we graph. Because then what I do is I look at my ordered pair, 3, 4. I said 3, okay, it's a positive 3. I'm going to go right 3, 1, 2, 3. I pause. I look at my second number. Positive 4 means I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can plot my point. So we'll call that one point A. Okay, now, quadrant 2. What is my X value going to be?
Negative.
Why you say negative, Michael?
Wait. I'm tired. What are we calling it?
Why is it negative, Michael? That's honestly it. It's negative because I'm going left of origin. Quadrant 2, every point in quadrant 2 is to the left of origin. That means that my X is negative. What about my Y? Why?
You're still going up.
Because I'm going up. Okay? Oops. So that one will be positive. So let's take, for example, a point that would be in quadrant 2 would be negative 2, 3. We'll call this one point B. Guess the first thing I'm going to do, guys?
Go to your origin.
I'm going to put my pencil at origin. From origin, I'm now going to count. Negative 2 means I'm moving how many spaces left? 2. Really simple, isn't it? 2 spaces. Positive 3 means I'm going what direction? Up for 3. 1, 2, 3. Once I get to the end, I put my point and I label it. Can I get it any simpler?
Yes.
Not really. Question again? Okay. Next one. Now we're down to quadrant 3, down here. So what is going to be the value of my X coordinate? Dom? Why? Still to the left of 0, right? And our Y coordinate, what do you think, Talia? What about the Y coordinate? Why?
Negative.
Because it's down. Guys, it's that simple, but you need to understand that. So when I look at this, let's take, for example, a point. We'll go negative 1, negative 4. Because they both have to be negative, we'll call this point C. What's the first thing I'm going to do, Zach?
You put your pencil in your origin.
Awesome. I put my pencil at origin. I'm going to go left 1, because it's negative 1. I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I make my dot and label it. There's letter C. Okay, our last quadrant. Quadrant 4. What's going to happen with the X coordinate, Mary? Awesome. I love the way you even gave me the reason why. What about our Y coordinate? Brayden? Negative because I'm going down. So, for example, we could do 2, -3. So, first thing I do.
You go right to.
No.
Oh, you put your.
There you go. Put my pencil at origin. I go right 2. I go down 3. Make my dot. There's letter D. So we have successfully graphed 4 points. Here's one of the big takeaways in this, guys. If I give you an ordered pair, could you tell me which quadrant it's in before graphing it?
Yes.
Should be able to.
Yes.
Okay? So let's take a look. To start, to graph ordered pairs, where do we start? And what ordered pair is origin? 0, 0. So I go the distance, the direction of my x coordinate, which would be, which way do I go for x?
3. Left to right.
Left or right? So then for the y, I'm going to go up or down. Up or down. Okay, let's get that out of the way a little bit. Let's look at these real quick. So let's see if you guys can get this without graphing them. No, I'm dead serious. I think you can do it. Even you, big N. So our first point, -3, 5. Which quadrant will that be in?
2.
Don't holler it. I want to see your hand in the air. Give me the number of fingers for which quadrant you think it's going to be. Okay, we're waiting on one table. Yes, that's hopefully quadrant 2. We'll see in a minute. What about 0 and -4? I'll give you a hint. This is a trick question.
0.
0 and -4. Which quadrant is that one going to be in? I'll give you a hint. It's a trick question. I'll give you the answer. It's actually either on the x-axis or the y-axis.
It's both.
No, it ain't both. It's one or the other. The only point in existence that is both is origin 0, 0. Other than that, they're on one of them. So, do you think 0, 4 is on the y-axis or the x-axis? Show me. Guys, let's go. X or y? Put them up. Okay, looks like most of you are saying y. What about -6, 0? X or y? I'll give you a hint. X or y? I will give you a hint. Don't write these down yet. Some of these may be wrong. Don't write down the answers yet. We'll go through and show you. Guys, show me X or Y. Let's go. X or Y? X or Y? Put them up high so I can see them. Okay, looks like most of you are saying X. -2, 4. That's a one-hander. Which quadrant? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think, Haley? Mikey? Mickey?
Mickey Mouse is
Show me a hand. What do you think? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 2s. We'll go with 2 for now. Again, don't write these down. 0, 5. So you see a 0, guys. You know it's going to be either an X or Y. Which one? X or Y? X or Y? Okay, looks like Y. And 5, 6. Give me fingers again. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many fingers? Not 10. There isn't a 10th quadrant. Sorry, Ryland. Try again.
Well, we just called you Ryland. That's tough.
Okay, let's actually graph them and see if we're right. Negative 3, 5. Start there.
Start where?
Negative 3, 1, 2, 3. 5 is positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What quadrant? 2. We were right. Next one was, what was it? I don't. What was the order pair?
0, negative 4.
0, negative 4. So again, start in origin. 0. I don't go left or right. Negative 4. I go down. So yes, you were right. It was the y-axis. The third one over was negative 6, 0. Again, start at origin. Negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. I don't go up or down. It's right there. That is on the x-axis. The next one. Negative 2, 4. Again, start at origin. Negative 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also in quadrant 2. Next one. 0, 5. 0. Don't go left or right. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was indeed on the y-axis. 5, 6. Again, start at origin. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quadrant 1. Good job, guys. You got them all right. Okay, in the sake of time, I want everybody to flip to the last page. Guys? Thank you. Shouldn't take that long though. Okay, this one you guys have done one similar to this. What you're going to do, this is a maze. You're going to start at the start, you're going to go all the way to the finish. Each time I look at the ordered pair, it's going to send me in one of multiple directions. So for example, our first one, again, we always start at origin. What you're going to do is count. You're going to say, I'm going to get to A, I have to go right, 1, 2, 3. I have to go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means my ordered pair is 3, 5. So I go this way. So I color this in. Then I go to B. B, I say, okay, I start at origin. I'm going left, 1, 2, 3. That means my x-coordinate is negative 3. Am I going up or down?
Down.
0. I'm not moving. So it's negative 3, 0. So that's going to be this one. Make sense?
Yes.
You're going to do that all the way through the maze.
Yes. Can we have a partner?
You have to get to the finish. No, this is homework.
Yes.
Okay? Here is your second part of homework. Turn the page, go to the next page in. This is page 3 and 4 of your packet. Listen. Listen. You guys aren't doing well. On this one, we've given you a whole bunch of different shapes that you're going to draw into this overall picture. Let me just give you guys a quick hint. You may want to write X, Y, so you know exactly how these are going. X is going to go left or right. Y is going to go up or down. Okay? So that's a little cheat sheet for you on your homework. So once I've got that, now it should be really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to start for the first shape, for example, is at 4, 6 is my first point. So I'm going to go to origin, go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I make a dot. That's my first point. My second point goes 6, 6. So I go back to origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to draw a line between them. Okay? So you're going to do that until you get to stop. So you're going to connect all of these points until you get to stop. So that's going to draw the first shape. Then you're going to start the second shape, guys. Your second shape is going to start at -3, 7. So then I'm going to go to -3, 1, 2, 3, because it's negative, up 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where my second shape starts. My next one there, I'm going to -5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, I'm going to draw a line between those. These lines are not connected to your first shape. That's why it says stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're going to do this with every point on there. There's quite a few points, but honestly, it shouldn't take you that long, guys. This is relatively easy. And most of you, once you start to see the outline of the shape, are going to know exactly what this is. Now, that being said, you still need to plot the points, because believe it or not, Miss Caroline and I have a template that we can lay over yours to make sure you do it correctly. So don't try just drawing it because you think you know what the shape is. Follow the points. Any question on your homework? Yes. You may color it if you want to, yes. It would actually look pretty cool colored. What don't you get?
That was a waffle question.
That was bad.
That was a big A.
Okay, so that is your homework. That's really basically all we really need for the recording, but I'll stop for now.